Okay. Now this meeting is recorded. Now I'm
Yeah.
going to share to you my screen, so you can have a look at my screen, the screen that I would like to show you. Can you see that?
Okay. Yes, we can.
Brilliant. All right. If the session is longer than 40 minutes to record, we'll be kicked out from the meeting room, from the virtual meeting room. What we'll do is we click exit here, okay, and come back by clicking that link again.
Okay.
That's the one that's a file that I gave you some time ago through Dropbox file. Okay.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
So that's the first thing I'd like to highlight to you before we are confused. Okay. Now, again, the purpose of this session is actually to focus on our assessment, and I appreciate those who email me the draft. I plan to give my feedback, bounce my feedback tomorrow for the draft that has been emailed to me. Okay. All right.
Yep.
Now this is the one that I'm going to discuss, and this is the advice basically. So we are going to discuss a few things about this, and pretty much covering the part 1 and part 2 of our assessment. Okay. If you have questions, again, please do not hesitate to write your question in the chat box, or you can also ask the question straight away. Okay. Now, this is based on my experience reviewing drafts that I received so far, and also that has been shown to me last time. I believe the introduction part is the easiest one. I believe quite happy with the introduction. Yeah, well, look, we still have some opportunities, I guess, in terms of tightening our writing to get stronger. But briefly, in terms of introduction, we introduce the company. Okay, we introduce the company, okay, or business. And briefly, we introduce the product or service. Okay, I think if I can refer to Andrea, for instance, your product is basically about in service industry, in aged care. You explain what kind of briefly the aged care service that you offer for the customers, right? And if you can include the other, if you think that there's still some more interesting information in your introduction, include it. Okay.
Okay.
Target market, let's say, normally lives in Western Sydney, for instance. I'm just making it up. Okay. Yeah. Mission statement. Again, I would suggest that you use a market-oriented mission statement. The market-oriented mission statement. And bit of typo here, my apologies, pardon my alcoholic computer. Mission statement. Yeah, market-oriented mission statement. So you want to explain you want to include the basic customer need. You also want to show the strengths of your business. Okay. Right. My computer is not awake yet in the weekend. My apologies, ladies.
That's okay.
Yeah. And you want to write it in the compelling way because you need to convince the stakeholder, and you also want to consider it is not about sales or producing something. It is not about selling or producing something. Okay. So in my experience, words like we strive, we believe would normally use in the mission statement. Starting, the opening words like that may show something more engaging. Think about how you can engage with your audience, with your stakeholders, right? We believe, for instance, quality education is for everybody. By that, we are actually showing that we try to be good at it, all right, and that addresses the basic customers' need as well in that industry. Okay, so here you need to ask yourself. What do consumers want in your industry? Consumers generally, let's say, needs in your industry. Okay, what do they need? Right. So this is, I guess, the time when we also need to do a bit of reflection. Okay, what do they need in my industry? I'm in the hospital. I'm in hospital industry. I'm in aged care industry. I'm in disability service industry, for instance. So what do they need? Okay, and think about what you're good at. Here, your organization, right? What your organization is good at. Okay, so you need to explain that. What are you good at? Okay, we are good at this actually. So you map them. Okay, then you actually after that you actually link the two, right, in a compelling way. Right, link the these two things, right? The basic customer needs and also the strengths of your organization, and you join them in a compelling way. Okay, so that's the introduction mission statement. Is that okay, ladies?
Yeah, that's good.
Yeah. Julie, you okay as well? Sorry, I couldn't hear you last time. Okay, all right. Now, vision statement. All right, I'm glad that people have been thinking about further. All right, so here we say something in 3 years, 5 years. All right, just use this one here, bullet points, 3, 5 years. Okay. Oops, why are they in bold? I don't need them to be bold. Okay, 3, 5 years. Right, what do you want to achieve? Okay, what does our organization want to achieve? Okay, what does our organization want to achieve? Now, look, something's wrong here. In 3 years time. Okay, now look, things like market share, okay, or market leadership position, right? They're quite common, right? Or some organization like Toyota used to, a few years ago, they used the customer satisfaction, right? Customer satisfaction, okay, or you need to think about the other things like such as the what kind of organization you want to build in the next 3, 5 years time. Okay. Oops, sorry. Now I remember why I put that hash. Why I put that hyphen. Okay. Organization. What do you want to be? Okay. What do you want to be in the next 5 years time? 3, 5 years time. Okay. So you can assume that we are in 2016. You can assume that you're writing you're formulating the vision statement for 2019. Okay. By 2019 or next 3 years time, we want to be, let's say, the most admired provider in whatever, right? For argument's sake. Okay, so that's your vision. That's where you want to be. Okay, right. Is that okay, ladies?
Sure.
For the mission statement.
Thank you.
All good. Right, brilliant. So there's just some examples on how you can express them. Okay. I think I mentioned you that in one of my previous jobs, we say that we want to be the most admired food company in Asia Pacific. I was doing Asia Pacific business at the time, right? That's the vision that we have crafted, right? And that mission vision that we have formulated should be linked back to what we do in our plan. And since we are doing marketing plan, we also need to reflect them. Okay, right? To be the most admired food company from product perspective, we must bring our product closer to the consumer's mind, closer to the consumer's heart, closer to the consumer's trolley, for instance. That requires us to distribute the products even further, right? I'm just trying to give you an illustration in terms of what real life, in real life, what we can do with the mission and vision. Okay, right.
Yeah.
Any questions so far?
No, thank you.
All right. Okay, good, good. All right. Now, situation analysis. We have the macro environmental forces here. I'm glad that a lot of people, a lot of people have been talking about PAST, using PAST, which is fine. PAST or pastel, right? They are the same thing, right? If you refer to PAST, pastel, they're the same thing, or STEP, they're the same thing, right? The important things that you want to include in here is showing changes and impact. Okay, what has changed, right? From political perspective, you can also explain whether there is a shift in terms of the government focus, driven by the government is running deficit budget, for instance. Okay, or if I am allowed to use our example, Joey, that just before we started this conversation, we briefly discussed about there may be a shift between public funding
to
private health funds, all right, in terms of paying for health services. Okay, so that is one thing that we noticed in the market, right? And then after that we explain what is the impact. Okay, I just explained that in a different bullet point. Okay, the impact in here could be your cost. Okay, or let me explain that in a different way. The impact in here could be positive or negative, all right? In terms of the dimension of impact, this could be cost, like increasing cost, for instance, okay? Or you can't fund it because the government has shifted their money to something else, right? Or consumption, which is basically leading to sales revenue, right? Whether consumers will buy more or will buy less. Okay, whether you get more consumers or get less consumers. I think the three of you may be, the industries of the three of you may be related to the health fund system in Australia.
Yeah.
We may recall that some time ago, during the Abbott government, he discussed the issue about increasing the Medicare levy. If you still remember that, and that has triggered some some concerns from the GPs. People have alerted that, hey, 1 second, if you do that, if you reduce the the funding in Medicare, people may delay going to see the doctors, and as a result, the country may even pay more because when people get really sick, people go to see the doctor by that time. Okay, so that's kind of impact, an illustration, an illustration in terms of outlining changes and impact. Okay. Now, I also noticed that a lot of people talk about economics, which is great. What you can also do is again, what is the impact of this? Okay? Again, the impact is probably around the increasing of cost or on the consumption. Pardon me. Right. Now, the other thing that I'd like to highlight in terms of your pastel analysis is basically data. Okay. Please use data or facts or references. Okay. Pardon me. Or references in your analysis. So when you, I'm just making it up. When you find an article on Sydney Morning Herald, for instance, this is just an example, okay? Sydney Morning Herald, let's say, who is the person publishing it? Well, for argument's sake, let's say we have Julie, okay? published that article on Sydney Morning Herald, right? 2016, right? Monroe, 2016. Oops, too much. 2016 suggests that private have fun. Okay, yada yada. Okay, with that, when you do that in-text references, you are actually showing the fact. You are actually showing some data that you have researched, right? And these in-text references go back to your reference list. Okay, or I also appreciate that I found some a draft that shows some draft that shows economic data. For instance, the GDP is at whatever percentage is. Okay, that is good. Please put the reference if you get it from Trading Economics, tradingeconomics.com or ABS or the RBA. Just put it there, and that's perfect. All right. And I understand that some people have used table. Some people use table, which is fine. Now, table is great, right? That helps us analyzing it. My recommendation is please show or outline your comments right underneath the table, right? After your table, let's say if this is our table, where's my table? Right? If this is my table. Okay, factors, remember this table, factors, analysis, yeah, analysis and impacts, whether it is positive or negative, okay, and you put your comment here, right, comment, okay. Now, any single table or data that we put, I would suggest that we put comments, otherwise we are, our boss doesn't like it, our managers don't like it. If we show our comments, we add value to the data, right? That is impressive feeling. Right. Any comments, ladies? Are we okay with the pastel analysis so far?
Eddie, can you see me now?
Yes. Welcome.
Sorry
Welcome,
about that. Sorry.
Yeah, that's all right. That's all right. Sometimes you have problem with the video. You don't have to, use the video if the internet. Sometimes our internet speed is not that good. So yeah, I can understand it. But can you hear us so far?
Sorry.
Can you hear us fine so far?
Oh, I can hear you clear.
Mm.
Yeah, I can hear. I just couldn't see you. I could see you, but you couldn't see me.
That's okay. That's okay. Right. So they're the things that they're the things that we try to discuss about. We try to to handle in terms of a macro environmental forces, which is basically past or past. Yeah. Any questions so far, ladies? All good?
Yep,
Right. If you have no question, okay. Now the next one here is microenvironment. All right. Microenvironment here. As we discussed before, we focus on the competitors because customers we analyze that differently. Okay. So what you can do is for competitors. Oops, I clicked the wrong thing. For competitors, you can. Competitors, right? You can analyze who they are, okay? You can analyze what they offer, and if you, I would also suggest that you have you outline a little bit about their strengths and weaknesses if you can, okay? If you can analyze that, that's perfect, okay? Weaknesses, right? So in class, I think we discussed about a number of tools. Just put up my own slides. Okay. Here, we explained about who our competitors are: direct, indirect, and product substitute. Now, I received questions in class. What about I don't have direct competitors? That's fine. Well, your the current products that are competing with you may be your direct competitors because you are the only one in that product category. All right. So how do we know that they are direct or indirect competitors? Look, they are our competitors because they deploy similar strategies to us. So ask yourself, if your brand is not available, what brand that that consumers will buy? Okay. Now this is another one. So I would suggest that if we can outline the competitors analysis here, you can use this template if you like. And again, please put comment, okay. Comment or highlight. Okay. What do we comment? Well, look, you can explain what they are offering, okay? What our competitors are offering, okay? They are offering the major competitors, like if you believe this guy is the market leader, right? The market leader is focusing on what? For instance, okay. Now I understand that you may not receive the market share report, which is fine. You can. How do you determine that that these guys are the market leader? Well, you can use your own observation. Based on your observation, this guy is the market leader, right? And this market leader is focusing on this, for instance, right? In the case of surgery, for instance, Joey, I'm not familiar with the industry, but you may have a range of surgery services, surgical services for the customers, right? And you could you may be able to tell this is the major competitor, and this competitor is actually focusing on this, for instance, okay, right? So that's the one, okay. Now the other thing is if you can also outline a brief comment about their strengths, right? They're good at this, they are not good at that. Actually, I have a different template for strengths and weaknesses analysis of the competitors, but I do not want to bombard people with the templates. We may get confused. We may confuse ourselves, right? Not helping us, but confusing us. Okay. Right. So that's competitors. Okay. Right. The next one is current business performance. Now, look, I noticed.
Can we discuss it? Sorry, Eddie, can we discuss it a bit further, because I don't get that 4 Ps. I don't know what to write for services.
All right. Thanks a lot for your question. Okay.
Sorry, yeah, I just
That's all right. That's all right.
Yeah,
That's all right.
The
4 Ps in here revolve around their product, what product that they are offering, okay, or service.
So that's the service they're offering, yeah?
Yes. Okay, let me just type it here. What service that they're offering in your industry? What to be general, I think what product or service they are offering.
Yep.
Okay. You may also want to explain what product or service flagship. Now, are we all familiar with the term flagship in here or not?
No.
Okay. They are. We use that term to explain they are the major one. They are the major product or service. Okay. If you look at, let's say, if you look at Honda, for instance, they have several products: car, bike, lawnmower, engine for boats, or in boating industry. What is their major product or service, right? Car is probably their major product or service. Okay, so that's one. Okay. Have I answered your question, Andrea?
Yeah. So with the services, do you want me to describe, for example, disability? They have obviously services for disabled people, but do I describe what more they do? Like, okay, they do day services, they do, I don't know, home care. Do you want me to put it like in dot points? Or?
Yes. Perfect.
Oh,
That's
okay.
perfect,
So
Andrea.
what?
Yes.
So every of the competitors, what they do, I just describe it in there. Oh, okay.
Yes. Whatever they
Okay.
have got, all right. And you can also outline out of these, let's say,
Yeah.
5 services that you put in here. What is the major one? What is or are the major one, right? That drives.
Oh, okay. Yeah. Okay.
That drives their revenue. Okay.
All right.
The major ones, the flagship, is normally driving revenue, right? I just put in here driving revenue.
Yeah.
Their revenue, okay, or profits, okay. Right. Yeah, is that okay, ladies?
Yep, that's
all right.
Yep,
Brilliant. Price. Now, look, I understand that. Look, I really, you know what? I like our class because our class has, various background. All right, people have, people come from different industries, which is fantastic. And you guys have also been teaching me something else. Hey, hang on a second. Pricing is probably something that we need to consider differently, right? Here, if you can find out how much you charge, how much they charge, how much do they charge, right? Then you explain to
all
those
the services, or what do you? How much to charge? Because they all have millions of services. Do you want me to put all the pricing in there?
That is actually a good question, Andrea. I'm glad that you asked, right? How much do they charge for, if you struggle to find out because they have 100 services, for instance, look at
exactly.
Look at the major one. Look at the major product or service, right? Or alternatively, review the one competing with you, right?
Okay.
I'm giving you 2 options, okay? Look at the major product or service or the one competing with you.
So Eddie, so for example, if I choose the surgery, maybe I choose, for example, ENT or sorry, orthopedic, orthopedic, ENT, cesarean. So I just choose one of them, or what is it? What to explain?
If it is the major one, if it is their major product or their major service, then that's one that you want to put.
So maybe I just choose one of them, orthopedic, gynae, just one of them.
You can give me example, Joey. What product or service that they're offering?
So at the moment, actually, they have 5 different surgeries they will focus on, but most of them is ENT, eye, mouth.
ENT, eye.
Can I just choose this one?
Yep. Probably some others, surgery A, B, C, right? And this is your competitor, yeah? And look at that. Which one that is competing with you?
Okay.
Everything competing with you?
ENT is the one.
What was that?
ENT is the one categories.
All right. Then you put ENT.
So I just choose the ENT one, is that right?
ENT price.
Okay.
Right.
So Joey, you could also put the Medicare payments as well. So the hospital stay and how people are out of
Yes.
You can diarise that as well.
Yes. That's correct, Julie. Or Medicare or private health fund.
Private health fund,
Yeah. Thank you.
Is that okay now?
Yeah, sure. Thanks.
Right. Brilliant. Right. So if you have several services in here, if they have several services, look at the one that is competing with you. Okay.
The biggest one.
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Place is basically their distribution. Where are they? Right. How the customers. Where customers can access their service, can access their product or service. Okay.
Do you mean like areas? What areas?
Yes.
Oh, okay.
Indeed. Location. Okay.
Oh, location. Yep.
Yes. Okay. Now look, I still have around 2 minutes to record this. If the time is up, what we'll do is we need to exit and come back to the meeting by clicking the same link.
Okay. Yep.
Okay. Right. Promotion. How do they promote it? How do they promote, right? Do they run team or seminar in your industry, for instance, or word of mouth, right? Getting someone else to talk about their product or services, okay? Or
internet and stuff like that.
Internet, yes, internet, or because they're doing online marketing as well, okay?
Yes.
Yeah. Or probably they have referral. Okay, referral. Okay. Look, in hospital industry, you may have that kind of system as well. Okay. Yeah.
We do.
Okay. Ladies, I think we need to stop for a moment because I can't record it. Can we? I'm going to exit. Can you please also exit? And the next couple of minutes, can you please come back to the by clicking the link? Is that okay?
Of course.
Yep.
Sure.
Right,
okay. See you soon. Bye.
See ya. See ya.
Yeah.
Okay.